different nachos.
Hello, you're listening and or watching the Nerd Edification Hour. I'm Caleb.
And I'm Jeremy.
Rachel is not feeling too well today, so she's out. But what have we got on today's show? We have a bunch of probably the most entertainment news I've seen in a very long time. And then a whole ton of Nintendo news, everybody's favorite.
Yeah.
And then just a little bit of video game and technology news. Not really all that important.
Yeah.
So it'll be a while before we get to the Nerd Vocab. Don't you think?
That's okay. It's a good one.
Yeah.
All right. So start us off with some news here. What do we got?
All right. Are you a fan of the Tomb Raider series, Jeremy?
Actually, I am. The newer ones have been pretty fun.
I have the newer one. I haven't played it yet. I haven't
played the most recent one yet because I'm broke.
But if you do like the newest Tomb Raiders, you'll be happy to know that Alicia Vikander's Tomb Raider is a fresh new take on Lara Croft. Basically meaning that the new film adaptation that will be coming out will be based on the newer video games.
Okay.
And from what I have heard about the first one, probably the first act is going to be intense.
It could be.
Like,
the reboot they did was brutal for how they handled it. I mean, just a lot of the stuff going on. You see her basically just thrown about during all these, the shipwreck and everything else. So
yeah,
that game was painful. It was so much fun, but it just just no.
Yeah, if it's anything like that, everybody's just gonna be sitting in the audience like,
yeah,
just
go back, rewind.
Yay!
Yeah, see, but anything has to be better than the last two films, which were Angelina Jolie, who played the actual role for that, and that was back in the early 2000s. And I'm still surprised they actually made two of those. Like, really?
But yeah, from the information here, it says the 2018 film will be, will start from where the Square Enix games.
Yeah, it's inspired by the Square Enix and Crystal Dynamics 2013 reboot, originally we talked about.
This is where we can say, look, it's another dark, gritty reboot, other than what?
Well, I mean, this one it's a movie based on a game, which actually had a reboot that's still, connected to its original stuff.
Sounds a lot like the Ratchet and Clank reboot.
The game sold a lot better than the movie did.
Yeah.
Just
saw that.
I think it would have been better as it's just a cartoon movie instead of trying to do theatrical release for that one.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So what's going on in
Marvel.
the superhero universe?
So Black Panther, Lupita Nyong'o reveals story and villain details. Nyong'o revealed to Entertainment Weekly that her character, Nakia, is a member of the Black Panther's elite squad of female bodyguards. She's well known from the comics for that. The Dora Milaje. There's also hinted at her relationship with the Dora Milaje leader, Okoye, played by Denai Guerrera. I apologize if I'm butchering these names. May be complicated. The story is that the Black Panther's leadership is being threatened by two foes that have come together. So Black Panther gets the help of the CIA and Dora Milaje to try and defeat an enemy, said Nyong'o.
So this kind of leaked out at Comic-Con. She's like, whoops. I probably wasn't supposed to say that. But
well, I mean, it ties in for part of it. That's actually part of the Black Panther's history. He's always had these guards that were there and kind of people going after his crown. So I kind of figured they would do something like that, going after, especially, with the ending of Civil War, how that was handled. I'm not going to spoil it. Don't worry.
No.
Spider-Man dies.
Oh, wow.
Just brutal. People are probably going to be coming after his leadership, trying to get to what's there, so we'll see. But more information actually on the Black Panther movie, we found out it begins filming in January, with the cast details being revealed. Kevin Feige brought out several cast members at Comic-Con, revealing some of them for the first time. Lupita Nyong'o will play the role of Nakia that we just mentioned, a character fans will know by the alias Malice. Fun fact, which won't happen in the movies, but she had a bit of a thing with Storm. Whenever they got married, she didn't like her. Denai Guerrera is in as Okoye, and finally Michael B. Jordan will play Eric Killmonger. So
it's a good time. I'm pretty sure it could be a pretty cool movie if we can take from what Black Panther was like in Civil War.
It was so good.
It was. I'm pretty sure that's how the movie's gonna go. It's just like
just the suit. Movie. They got the suit perfect. I like the guy. I really like the guy that played him. So
it's just like bulletproof. He's like,
you're shooting me? Really?
Really? Cat-like reflexes, impenetrable defenses unless you have an adamantium bullet. I think pretty good.
Even vibranium can be an issue. Who knows? All right, we got next.
All right, so Netflix wants to make their Marvel shows more quickly, and so Punisher may appear in the Defenders. So I only have a slight problem with this. It's like, well, you want to make it more quickly, but this quick, count for quality.
It can be because they can. I mean, think about it. Netflix went up about $1 starting next month. It goes up to like $9.99. Which people are like, oh, I'm going to cancel. I'm like, dude, I'm fine with that. Like, they keep making all these great shows and stuff. I'm like, whatever. You made this huge deal with Disney. You're getting all the Disney movies, Star Wars, and all the Disney properties coming into it. That includes all the Marvel stuff. So, they announced. I don't know. We didn't include it in here, but they officially announced season 3 of Daredevil. So we're getting that. They showed off Iron Fist, which actually had a lot of kind of references and tie-ins.
I would love to watch an Iron Fist.
Looked good. Kind of had a tie-in with Luke Cage because they were always known as the little group that they did, Luke Cage Iron Fist. They showed off more of actual Luke Cage's stuff, like some of his beginning where he was trying to be a superhero, and that was just fantastic. He's walking down the hall and people keep trying to shoot him. He's just like, you stop it,
amateurs.
Yeah, it's like, I'm not dying. Have you not noticed bullets go everywhere? You're going to hit one of yourselves. You don't quit this.
Yeah. So when asked whether or not that if we might see an increase from like in the shows from
2 seasons
Marvel,
to 5, yeah.
Yeah. Considering all the currently announced series, Sarando said, I doubt we could produce all the quality at the quality that they produce. It's basically my fear. They can't. If they pump it out, they might not be as good of a quality as if it just they normally do. If
they ramp up and get different groups to do it, they might be able to just coordinate where they could go at the same pace, but more of them at a time, and kind of stagger it out. They might be able to increase what they put out without losing quality. It's just going to depend on if they get enough money from the increase, as well as any new subscribers, given the deals they've done. If they can afford it. Plus, Disney's just like, okay, Marvel, here's a blank check, go to town, because it's definitely paid for itself. Same thing with Star Wars. So,
So what's going on in the Flash universe?
The Flash. I love the TV show. The movie I'm still really iffy about. Mm-hmm. But speaking of the movie, Kiersey Clemons is now set to play Iris West, the love interest of Barry Allen. Clemons was reportedly a favorite for director Rick Famuyiwa, who took over as director of The Flash in June. Clemons previously worked with Famuyiwa on 2015's Dope, where the actress starred as Diggy. Most recently, Clemons appeared in Neighbors 2, Sorority Rising. So, since Comic-Con, we got to see the Justice League trailer, and we got to see The Flash, which they cleaned him up a lot. Like, he doesn't have the long hair or the weird facial goatee that they were showing in Batman vs. Superman, which I bought it and watched it, and I'm still just kind of like, nope, there's a whole list of people, even not in the dream, Batman just straight up murdered. Which DC's even dropped a lot of that. Like, Justice League was a lot brighter and happier and stuff, but The Flash looks like, for some reason, like when he does the super speed, his lightning is blue, which was kind of weird. Because it's always been, Flash's lightning's always been yellow.
Red and yellow, right?
Well, no, it was red for the Flash. For Reverse Flash, it was red, because that was opposite of his suit. And then Zoom, which was the one in black, was blue. His lightning was blue. But for some reason, this one, his lightning is blue in that one. And it destroys things, like arcs over things as he moves. But they have more comedy to it. I did like that. So at least they have a little bit of the comedy with Barry Allen. But when he has his suits on, it looks like a rejected Power Ranger suit from the first movie way back in the day.
I think I remember seeing somebody showed it. Yeah, it did kind of look like a Power Ranger.
I posted that on there. I'm like, because they had the first image. Mind you, the trailer, Superman never shows up, but he's right there on the image. So, big shock. Superman's coming back. Who knew? And he's just back there with like the segmented piece. And someone was saying, I haven't confirmed it yet, but apparently they leaked it out like he had went and took pieces of like the space shuttle and stuff like that for the heat resistance. And I don't know if that's what they're trying to do, but I don't know. It could be worse. During the whole flashback part in Batman vs. Superman, he's wearing that weird armor. And now that I have it, I could go back and watch it in HD in the house and kind of look at it. He's got this weird armor with like a flap lid. that just keeps opening and closing like he just took someone's stuff and can't figure out how to stop it. I'm just like, all right.
Kind of like the actual Power Rangers reboot movie. They're like,
oh yeah, they showed their helmets and they kind of pull back and they have those. That's gonna be a weird one. I have no idea. All right. Anyways.
All right. So.
Yes, this is another one.
This was your story.
Yes.
If you want to go ahead and read it.
So, we're getting another Rocketeer! Yes! Disney's developing a Rocketeer sequel, which a lot of people were kind of referring to as the Rocketeers. It takes place 6 years after the 1991 original and features a new pilot after the original one, which was Cliff Secord, played by Billy Campbell, goes missing during a bout hunting with Nazis. I almost said zombies. Nazi zombies. I don't know. There's always Nazi zombies. So, the new Rocketeer will feature a black female lead who sets out to stop an ambitious and corrupt rocket scientist from stealing jetpack technology in what could prove to be a turning point in the Cold War.
I remember this, and then I don't.
Well, they've been talking about trying to not only remake, but to continue the Rocketeer since like 2012. And now they can finally announce that they started something. And the cool thing about it is they're taking it takes place after the original. They're not tossing out the original movie or anything. They've got a new person that's playing it. They haven't cast her yet, as far as I know. They just know who what kind of person they're looking for, but they don't have who it is. But, they're making a new movie while honoring the old one. Ghostbusters. Yeah. Yeah, sorry. It's possible to make new movies and cast new people and change things and not throw out the original. Speaking of sequels, what do we got?
So, this one thing that has been back and forth. Pacific Rim 2 won't star Charlie Hunnam, which Hunnam. Okay,
Charlie Hunnam.
Got it. So, Charlie Hunnam was the main guy, I believe, which he said that, speaking to MTV, Hunnam noted that while there was definitely an incarnation of the sequel that included his character, he wasn't able to fit the project into his schedule. So
he's pulling a Will Smith.
Basically, with all this back and forth, he's probably like, well, might not even bother with it. So he's gone on to do other projects.
Well, yeah, according to this, since it wouldn't fit into his schedule, that's what happened with Will Smith while he wasn't in the second Independence Day. Because he was making Suicide Squad. Good call, by the way, Will Smith. That movie's looking great.
Yeah, I saw that trailer with Will Smith, actually. I'm like, okay.
He does
Angie.
He does a really good job as Deadshot. I'm like,
all right, Angie, we need you to put another $1 million in there. What? I ain't got all day.
Nice.
I was like, okay, that's cool.
I don't know. Pacific Rim 2, it won't have the same actor in there. He was the pilot that was in most of the movie. But seriously, we're all going to see it for a giant robot punching a giant monster. I don't care who's in the helmet.
I could see oh no, I can't do that after, that traumatized me or whatever. I can't get back in the Jaeger. So I mean, it'd be pretty interesting to see some new characters and stuff like that.
Or they can just say, "Oops, there was complications. He's dead. Moving on to a new machine." Just write him out. All right, so a little bit of Star Wars news have popped up. Young Han Solo could appear in multiple Star Wars films. It's amazing how fast this went from, we're just going to do the one, to everywhere.
Here's the whole...
I'm waiting for the young Han Solo, young Jar Jar Binks adventures.
Oh my gosh.
Find out they knew each other the whole time. Unnamed sources have told the New York Daily News that the studio has quietly signed Heinrich for at least 3 movies so that the studio can include Heinrich in multiple cinematic adventures in the event the first standalone Han Solo film is a hit. So basically they're going, hey, we're going to hedge our bets, and if this works, we've already got you.
So that's a pretty interesting contract to sign. He was like, here, you can sign this, and then if you could sign here. And then
it's like, oh, wait, we're making a Star Wars movie, and we'll get to make 2 more if this one does okay? Yeah, I'm in. Because the first one, just on preface alone, is going to do fine. And if that guarantees in contract he can do 2 more, he could just phone those in and he's still going to make money. So, yeah, do it. I don't know. I know it's not in here, but I want to go back. There was 2 trailers that released this week that I kind of wanted to talk about. The Justice League, did you watch that one yet?
I have not watched the
Okay.
Justice League trailer.
So I'll give a quick synopsis on this one. The Justice League one, you can tell DC's kind of went, okay, Snyder, let's ease back on the dark. Let's make it a little bit lighter. Let's bring in actual, the DC universe people loves. The colors are a lot brighter too. Superman, Wonder Woman's costume, and everyone else actually has color to it now. It's a little brighter.
I'm surprised that he would, because I know some directors are like, no, this is my vision. This is how I want to do it. And I'm surprised he's actually going along.
Well, it's because DC's going, yeah, no, we have to compete with Marvel, so you either play along nicely or we're going to put you in timeout directorially. Yeah. So it was kind of nice to see that. The tone of it, like I said, you see Batman going around kind of gathering together the heroes, trying to bring them in. Of course, you only see 4 of them actually agree to it. You've got his meeting with Barry Allen where he makes the great joke, it's like, I'm Barry Allen, I'm Bruce Wayne, and he responds back that doesn't explain why this, man sitting in the dark in my second favorite chair, where he just throws a batarang at him because he knew who he was already. And if he didn't, the Flash's suit, or at least an earlier version, is literally just sitting there on a mannequin. So he's probably just like, yeah, that's him.
I'm seeing it.
So he takes the batarang, throws it, and that's when the first bit of comedy comes in, where you see Barry just kind of look at it, kind of back up as it's slowly going, and he's kind of like looks at him, like realizing who it is, and just kind of picks it up, and it's just like, can I keep this?
Can you sign it?
So that was cool. They showed a little bit of Victor Stone, which is who is Cyborg. He was originally very big with like Teen Titans and things like that, and they've moved him since New 52 to kind of like
I see the
frontline him to in Justice League as one of the founding members, because they wanted to have a more diverse group that's in there, and he's a good character to choose from. A lot of people like Cyborg. Wonder Woman's working with him as she was from Batman vs. Superman. No Green Lantern. Superman will be in it, but we haven't seen how.
He's probably just going to show up like...
Aquaman is handled great. I like Aquaman, because they're talking about, all the stuff he can do and so forth, and he just looks at him and goes, so, I hear you can talk to fish. That's just kind of the end of it. You're like,
how do those conversations go?
Yeah, that's just got to be fantastic. But it looks a lot more promising. We had a lot of high hopes for Batman vs. Superman, and that did okay, but did not exceed what they wanted it to.
Yeah. Because
of some of the issues, but it looks like they've dropped a lot of that. The second trailer they showed from DC was the Wonder Woman trailer, which was fantastic.
It's another one I had. I'm just going to
keep talking then.
You go ahead.
So, excuse me. So the Wonder Woman one takes place back before and during World War One, when Diana first comes off the island. First time she sees man, and she sees Steve, who's the soldier that's kind of her liaison. When they find him on the shore, and it's like, you're a man. He's kind of waking up, and goes, do I not look like one? What's wrong? But they do show a lot more of her warrior side, like the way her outfit is and everything. I like the redesign of it. It's still very much the Wonder Woman style, but like instead of the leathery boots, it's almost like a Greek armor style, where it's hinged and it's got all the parts for it. But they don't hold back on the violence at all. She's one of those that, she's always killed. She's a warrior. That's what she does. So if they want to get violent for her and do stuff, I kind of get it. So bring it. But it's also supposed to explain what happened during that time period, and then why she kind of disappeared for almost 100 years, like just wasn't around anymore. So I'm curious how that comes, because she didn't reappear mostly reappear until the whole fight with Doomsday during Batman vs. Superman. So we're like, okay, were we during World War II and Vietnam and all that too?
Yeah.
I don't know. DC looks like they're finally getting their stuff together, and Wonder Woman is really good because it's also. Marvel really needs to get on this as well. They've announced they're doing some of the movies, like Captain Marvel and stuff like that, where we'll finally have a female lead and kind of push for that. But DC's already jumped on that and doing a really good job so far with Wonder Woman, I think. Why not? Yeah.
I'll definitely watch the trailers afterwards.
You should. They're good. You want to watch them big screen, too.
Oh.
Yes. All right.
So... now we get to talking about Nintendo and what's going on in their neck of the woods. A bunch of interesting things have happened, especially some rumors and leaks and things like that.
We're getting some actually fairly substantially confirmed NX news finally.
Yeah, which is kind of weird. Usually that's when they start saying, okay, well, here it is, finally. So we're thinking the announcement is nigh.
September is what they're saying.
The apocalypse is nigh.
I wouldn't call it the apocalypse.
The
It's just maybe the apocalypse for the code name, you know. Imagine if they launched half their systems with their code name, the Nintendo Dolphin, or the Cafe, or... That's the GameCube and the Wii, kids.
Yeah.
Or Project Reality.
Do you know what Take-Two is?
Really, Take-Two? I knew them as, like, DMI. I mean, you know, back when they made such absolutely hilarious games as Space Station Silicon Valley, or DMA production, sorry, DMA, where they made Space Station Silicon Valley. Didn't they make Grand Theft Auto?
I thought it was Rockstar.
Oh, I thought you were joking. Yeah, Take-Two is... I thought you were messing with me. No, yeah, Take-Two is a huge company. They are the ones that... part of them is what makes Grand Theft Auto. They work with EA and a lot of stuff as well.
But I meant to look that up
I
before
seriously thought you were joking.
No. It was...
No wonder you looked at me like, what are you talking about?
What are you talking... So apparently Take-Two's CEO is enthusiastic about the NX, which...
I kind of see why, given what some of the information coming out could be.
A lot of companies are praising Nintendo, especially Ubisoft, because, you know, Ubisoft has their own little open world thing, and they're like, dude, that Legend of Zelda game? That looks tight. Wish we could make an open world game like that. But despite the sales struggling of the Wii U, Take-Two CEO Strauss Zelnick says that the company is eagerly anticipating Nintendo's 2017 NX console release. And in an interview with GameIndustry.biz, Zelnick said that he and the rest of Take-Two are believers in Nintendo as the NX approaches.
Which would be good. That might be a nice sign that Take-Two has gotten a dev kit.
Maybe
because dev kits are out there. Companies have the development kits. People know what the NX are. They just can't say anything for fear of Miyamoto killing him in the night.
I definitely know. Sega has.
Because he'll just sit there and you see him sneak up at the window, kind of crack the window, and a small line of Pikmin come out of his glove, and then they just slowly dismantle you in your sleep and take you away, and you become money, and they're good. So that's how Nintendo funds things these days, by the slaughtering of whole people with their Pikmin.
You let the NX leak?
Yeah.
Won't see you tomorrow.
Don't do the accents.
I'm sorry. I can't help it. I have to.
You can help it, just don't. But according to the report, Japanese... let's see. They went down with the next one. But yeah, Take-Two, that's a big thing for what they can actually do, because they'd be able to go in, you know, say if Nintendo finally got a Grand Theft Auto, which they have before. On the DS was a really, really good one. Chinatown Wars. Oh. It was a full Grand Theft Auto. It was more of an above view, but still full 3D. That game was a lot of fun. It eventually came to the PSP, but it lost a lot of the stuff for the touchscreen that they did. Like, if you went in the water, you'd have to use the touchscreen to kick the window out to get out. It was great.
Wow.
So...
But until the NX launches, Nintendo has also revealed that it has little financial losses.
Yeah, it was kind of weird how this one happened.
It was, wasn't it? Like, they just said their stock went up for Pokemon Go, and I guess people found out that
they didn't actually make it.
Game Freak actually makes it. So
Nintendo had a large stock in it, but they weren't the actual makers, and investors were just like, "Oh, Pokemon, it's Nintendo, buy their stuff," and they saw this huge surge that actually put them at a value higher than Sony. Like, we're talking about Sony has all these parts of the companies. Nintendo just makes video games and a few little things, and they were worth more than all of Sony.
So did Game Freak stock go up? Or did
did
Niantic's?
I think both of them did.
Oh.
But Nintendo revealed its latest financial report for the 3 months ending June 2016. That's where some of the information came from. And according to the report, Japanese Giant posted a net loss of 24.5 billion yen.
That's a lot.
Well, it's billion yen, so it's probably like a couple million.
Translate that into U.S. dollars. Though.
Yeah, it drops a lot because their inflation for over the centuries have had it. That's why billions of zen.
Oh, yeah, you're right. So that's only like about 24 million-ish?
Something like that.
Somewhere.
Maybe not even that. Not the best of news when contrasted with the same period of 2015, where the company made a profit of 8.2 billion yen.
Which is around $8 million.
Yeah, kind of the way that works out.
Somewhere around there. I know there's like for every 1,000 yen, it's like $1. Something like that, I think.
Yeah, 8.2 million yen is equivalent of 78,000 US dollars.
Oh.
So if we take the 24.5 million yen.
Doing conversions.
Or billion yen, sorry. Yeah, it was billion, not million. So yeah, it's 234,326,431,000 or 431. Yeah. So it's still a couple $100 million. It's not like, oh, we didn't lose anything. It's just when they go to billions, it basically drops down to millions.
But I mean, again, they still have giant vaults of gold hidden in the ocean. So I keep making.
We'll see how that goes.
I'm pretty sure they do. I'm not even joking.
Well, I mean, they're not making much money right now on game sales. I'll tell you that much. I mean, Pokemon's not coming out for a few more months. The Wii U's been basically dropped for the moment.
Yeah.
Until there's a few little things coming here and there, but Zelda's going to be the big one. But that's also going to be a big NX release. Possibly, it should hopefully be at launch, but no one knows. So we'll have to see on that one. What doesn't help them, which actually could, is Pokemon Go Plus device has been delayed until September.
Yeah.
So they may have run into some production issues. They added a month for it to come out.
Probably because they thought, okay, we'll order this many because this is how many people actually play Pokemon. That's our target audience. But then all of a sudden you have everybody and their work managers playing it. And
I went to go.
Oh, now we have to make
more of them,
a million more.
I tried to go and pre-order one because I wanted it, and before I even got there, it had sold out in like a minute. All of them just gone.
Yeah,
I was just kind of like, it was horrible. So this is an interesting one here, and I still want to look more into it. But Lady Layton has been revealed as a game coming out. It's in Japan only at the moment.
The revealed trailer has shown itself, so
yeah,
we just know about it, but we don't know the fine details unless somebody goes and translates it.
Well, I don't know the relationship between them. Lady Layton is
we don't yet.
Yeah, we don't. I don't know if it's a family member or if it's just a woman with the name Layton or what it is. And a lot of people are wondering, like, why does it have to be Lady Layton? Professor is a non-gender term. You can be a woman and be a professor, and you can be a man and be a professor.
I think that's to distinguish, possibly.
But why?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. So Lady Layton is his daughter. Looked it up. It's actually his daughter. So that explains the Layton name, which is fine. I guess.
Is she professor?
I mean, like I said, it may have been them kind of separating out the series. Like Professor Layton is the dad, Lady Layton is her, and she might not even be a professor. It could just be she's been tortured by her dad for years with puzzles, so she just sees them everywhere.
I see puzzles in everything I do.
Would you like dinner? Here's a puzzle. No.
To eat dinner, you must solve this puzzle.
It's like, would you like my love and affection? Here's a puzzle. I don't know. I'm fine with it. I mean, it's his daughter, so that explains it. They're continuing it on. So that means they're not throwing out the original. They're just continuing it on. Ghostbusters. If they make a sequel change, which is fine. I mean, it's his daughter. I love their games, so I'm looking forward to it. I've always loved the Professor Layton titles. I've played every one of them. I think I have them all, too.
Wow.
Except for the Japanese-only ones. All right. Here's the good part.
All right. Nintendo, and this is a report, a rumor out of the rumor mill.
Yeah, there's a lot of rumor with a couple of pretty substantial facts that people have found out.
Solid evidence.
Yeah.
But Nintendo NX is a portable console with detachable controllers. How does that work?
Well, this is actually not the first time Nintendo's done that. Just like the DS was based off of the open clamshell of the Game & Watch series, they actually had one back in the day that was a little portable that you would open up the back of it and two little controllers came out of it and you'd unwind the cords to them and you could actually play two-player games. It was like a D-pad on each and a button. And they had one of them was like Donkey Kong where one of them was playing as Donkey Kong moving around while the other one's playing as Mario at the bottom spraying. So instead of having to worry about the AI, you're playing against an actual person on this small screen, which was really cool. I'm still trying to get one. Those things are expensive.
It could be like... That's another thing of just like, hey, we've taken this old thing and we've revived it.
Well, I mean, it's their design. I mean, look what it did. Look at the DS. Yeah. They took that little clamshell design that people were kind of like, that's silly.
That's dumb.
Now you have, the DS, the DSi, the 3DS, the new 3DS. Yeah, don't do that. You'll break it. So it's a cool idea kind of doing that. They've hinted a lot at doing kind of a hybrid system where it's going to be a console and it's going to be a handheld. It's really not one or the other. It's kind of both.
Oh yeah, I was discussing this with Kyle earlier when we were hanging out, and I was like, I'm wondering, how is someone going to record that unless there is something like you can hook up to a TV that when it gets near it, you can display it on the big screen. If it's something small and powerful, because we'll get into this later, but there's a certain game that is going out to all the consoles, and NX is one of them.
Yeah,
like we'll get on to.
It's not hard to do. Like you see this really little thing. You know, this whole system here. It's not going to be as powerful as this. This is a ridiculously good tablet, but it has a DisplayPort output that you can just. I can run it and make it a VGA port. I can run and make it an HDMI cord. Different things adapted out of that. So if they have a video output, you could plug it right into the system and just use it like that and go, and then plug in another controller. Or they're talking about people maybe having a dock station. You come home, you plug it into the dock, and just use Pro controllers or something else to play it, and have that available. It could be done. So we kind of know it's a portable because not only that, but Nintendo has actually merged their handheld and their console divisions. They're no longer divided. It's one group making games for one thing, which is good. So they're working together and doing it. We don't know about the detachable controllers. That's there was a patent that Nintendo filed for that, they file patents all the time, so we have no idea if it's going to be with it or not. You brought up the size factor with detachable controllers. How big could it be?
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's a portable, so really it should be small, but if it's not, because if it has detachable controllers, I'm just wondering how powerful and how portable is it going to be. That's my only concern. Like, is it going to be able to fit in my pocket, or do I need to carry like a bag with it?
I don't think it'll be like it'll fit in your pocket. But imagine if you're going on a flight, like you're playing Zelda at your house. You got to get ready for your flight, save it, turn it off. You pick up the system, take it with you on the flight. You just turn it on and keep playing. Even if it's a larger size, that's still ridiculous that you're playing that game on there. It's supposed to be a graphical update. They said that's the only thing that's going to look better on this. So this handheld will look better than your Wii U version.
Which is really weird.
It's
to me, that's really weird.
But it's kind of a cool idea. It's not the first time it's been done either. I remember back, Hudson had a system, the TurboGrafx. They had a portable called the Turbo Duo, I think is what it was. You could take the cards out, put them in there, and play your games portable. It was not handled very well, and it was two different systems. But it can be done. So in this case, it's the whole system is the portable from day one. Now, what we do know, it's been confirmed by a few places. They won't give their sources, but Digital Foundry is very well known for their work on doing stuff like this, looking at the technical aspect. They've got to see or got information from their sources about some of the development kits that are out there. And another thing that lends to the portability is their whole system is running and based off the NVIDIA Tegra X1, which is their portable, low-power, high-performance group of chips. So the X1 is, power-wise, it's higher than a Wii U, and actually just better graphical output than the Wii U, but it's not as high as like an Xbox One. It's going to be like if you took, like the 360 PS3 and did like the highest potential those could put out. Really good, but not the newest. So even if that's the case, that's still really impressive for how it does, because it's been in a couple devices already, but with the Android operating system, they couldn't what they call code to the metal. They were limited by the OS and couldn't give its full potential, but with the Nintendo, they're able to just go into it and every little tweak and piece of how they do it, and that's how you got great games on something as weak as the Game Boy originally, because they could go in and find every little tweak they could do. So their theory, now we're going out from what they know to what they think. So we're back in Rumorville. The reason Nintendo chose March and kind of pushed it back, which is kind of a weird date, they missed the holiday. Some people thought it was for games. Another possibility is if they wait until March, by early that year, the X2 comes out, their new version of the chip, which is like leaps and bounds above the X1, which would put it as basically a handheld, small, light, low-power Xbox One, or maybe even a 1S, cool. That kind of in between there. Which people are just like, oh, it's not going to be, Scorpio or all the stuff with the PS4.
Well, that's because that's VR stuff.
It's an increase in power, like they're done with the teraflops and stuff. And
teraflop.
They're moving towards a model of having it. You have to buy it every couple of years and keep increasing it, which is ridiculous. With this, it's going to be pretty powerful, but it's going to be portable, and that's the biggest thing. What you can do with it with that portability. You'd be able to pick up the system and do motion, or if you'd be able to do, travel with it, or what you want to do. So I'm hoping companies will see that. People have been complaining and just whining about it. Oh, Nintendo needs to go third party. They can give up and quit making consoles. If it doesn't look like the PS4 and the Xbox One, I don't want it. You've already got two systems that look and play the same. Honestly, 99% of the people in the world, if you sit there and go, here's a screenshot from both, tell me which is which, they're going to look at it and go, oh. You've got that handful of people that can tweak the little bits in there that actually tell the difference. The games are going to look fine. They're going to play fine. I mean, that's part of why I like my Wii U. It's not as powerful, but it's not another Xbox One or PS4. It's something different. That's why a lot of people like the Wii. It was something different. Everything being the same is boring as crap. I mean, just... Any thoughts on the X?
Well, I've said my concerns. If everything they say is true, if they do wait after March, and if they do upgrade it, I'm wondering... you said the X2 chip comes out February?
It's supposed to be... Well, no, the X2 is supposed to be out like late this year, early next year.
Okay.
So they've got early access.
That would be more production time, I'm wondering, because then if they do here's the NX kind of 2.0, here's the cheaper NX, and here's the lower. But I'm not too worried about that. I don't think
the X2 they might be making... And mind you, most companies don't just get their processor and go. They have a special version made for them. Yes, the PS4 and the Xbox One run on x86, but they have special versions of their PCU, of their GPUs in there. So this one's probably going to be based off the X1 or maybe X2 architecture, but it might be something specific for NVIDIA being put out from them. So they're already going to know probably how the pin set's going to be, and they can make the boards and get it ready to put the chips on them. So once they have that, they can move on from there, and hopefully production won't be too bad. My concern is going to be battery.
That was another thought lingering in the back of my head. I'm wondering if anything, you could sell rechargeable battery packs, whatever, to bring with you. But then again, that's just something else that you have to bring. That's
bulky in size, yeah.
I'm wondering, is it going to be 5 hours, 2 hours, maybe 10 hours of...
even if it's just 5 hours, that's still a lot of time. I mean, it's not much for flights and stuff, but if you have a way to plug it in, or maybe an interchangeable charger or something like that, yeah, you could do it. Size is another one. If they don't do the removable controllers or a different way to do them, maybe they could keep it down to the size of like a gamepad. I mean, you think about it, the Wii U came
I wouldn't mind a gamepad kind of size.
About the size of it.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
They need some way to protect the screen. It's my only concern. Portability on that can get damaged. That'd be a big case.
Like a slider thing or something like that.
Well, I've got one that's just a little clip that goes over the top of it that's really nice. That's one thing that was really popular about the DSs, that like yours right now, you can set stuff on top of it all day long, and it's not going to mess up the screens. But that also led to its own problems. After a while, it actually pressed into itself, and it had a problem. So I don't know. They need to just say something. Like, they've just been so quiet. And we're like,
something, Nintendo. Why?
We're ravishing and just going nuts on these little crumbs of information we find. And it's cool to look at it from a technical standpoint, but I want to see a game. I want to see it do something.
To probably show off the Legend of Zelda first, Breath of the Wild.
Well, as of right now, we know of officially 2 games. We'll talk about one of them later. The other one's...
That was mine!
I know.
Because I'm excited.
Yeah. And the other one is Breath of the Wild. There was a third one, but Square kind of backpedaled on it. So we don't know how that's going to go. And it's a little hard for companies to really announce anything, because the game we're going to get to in a little bit, they found a way to kind of say it's NX, and they had like a placeholder graphic, but that's not going to be the final name of the system. Unless it is, and then that's just different than Nintendo NX, which...
So do you think with the dev kits, since everybody has the prior chip, do you think they're going to try to run specifically on that one? Basically, like, it's going to look lesser power until the new one, the new X2
normally
comes
they'll make it, they'll design around the goal of what they think it'll be. And then if they find out it's more powerful, or in the case of sometimes it was even dropped down a little bit, which that's part of what happened with the Wii U. They had a chance to go with a little bit more powerful processor, and they ended up going a little bit lower. So people had to kind of tweak it back. The N64 had the same issue, where it became a little bit weaker in ways they thought it would, but more powerful in others. So they had to, like GoldenEye, they didn't get to find out what the hardware really was until like almost the last minute, and managed to work out the details. So But if they're going from the X1 to the X2, the architecture, programming, and layout is probably very similar. So they could just take it and go, okay, well, now we've got this much RAM to work with. We have this much on it. Because it has a large amount of RAM built into the chip and things like that as well. So it can handle information very quickly, but very power savvy, which is the best thing. And Nintendo's been very well known for doing high efficiency systems. The 3DS didn't last as long as people really liked. And the gamepad with its stock battery is not that long. They do have one in Japan you can buy that's much bigger. Because if you ever open the back of a gamepad, there's a huge cavity there.
Yeah.
There's a battery that fills the entire thing.
I mean,
it's like $50. I want it. And it's like 10 hours.
I have the extended battery pack, but
really?
Of course, yeah. But it doesn't work with the Pro.
Oh, no. I'm talking about the gamepad. Like the actual Wii U gamepad.
Oh, the gamepad.
If you ever open the back of it, you'll see the little battery, and there's a big cavity around it.
Yeah,
they have a battery you can order from Japan that takes the entire thing.
The gamepad battery does not last long at all.
Yeah, I mean, you're sitting in one place, so I can just usually plug it in, but I want to get the extended life one so I can do more of the motion games, which is nice. The 3DS, they improved a little bit with the efficiency, but I mean, like the Wii U's core system and things like that have been so efficient, they were able to run the console on a small screen off of solar panels. So just off sunlight in the apocalypse, you can still play that Wii.
Yeah.
So they could legitimately just have like a solar panel set up and have a scene on Walking Dead where they're playing, Mario Tennis or something.
That would be interesting.
If they had a huge push with power efficiency and how it ran, that lets them become more portable faster. The Xbox One and the PS4 are these massive systems. That's going to take a while to shrink them down to anything because they take a lot of power. They're some of the most power consumptive systems ever made, especially the Xbox One. It's kind of good God. But their thought is just raw power, nothing else. No finesse to it. PS4 did shrink it down. That one does actually run really well. So we'll have to see. The battery life's going to be an issue depending on how they do it. The other thing, they did have, what was it mentioned earlier? They had a patent that was listed or they got the patent for having a device that you can dock and it shares the processing power. So it might be like it runs in a low power mode while it's portable with either certain parts of the game or functions being available. But then when you get home and you plug it in, now it's got all this extra RAM and things, and it has a ramped up version of it that can play. And, that can be kind of cool. Like you could maybe run like a Wii U power level while you're on the go, but then have the NX power level when you're at your house or at a place if you have the docking station.
That'd be all right with me. I mean,
it'd be a way to do it, and people will complain about having to develop for more than one level. But Sony and Microsoft are making people do that now. They have to develop a game that runs on the Xbox One, the Xbox S, and the Scorpio. Has to run on those and be compatible.
And then we'll worry about PC later. Because
and then we've got, PS4, and then you've got whatever the world they were calling it. I can't remember now.
Scorpio?
No, that was Xbox. Neo. Yeah. It's not the one. There's apparently a bunch of them. Every game that runs on the Neo has to be compatible with the PS4 and vice versa. So developers are already having to stagger their games to be able to run on these different platforms. It wouldn't be much different to do it for a home version and a portable version, especially when you have companies that used to put production in where they'd make a home version of Assassin's Creed and a portable version of Assassin's Creed. We'll just have those two teams work on this, and then voila, you can have the home and then a slightly lesser portable. There's ways to do it. I'm just release the damn thing. I want to see what it is. I'm tired of waiting.
All right.
Last bit of Nintendo news.
Last bit of Nintendo news. A little too long.
After my rant. Oh, come on.
So Nintendo announced its official NES playing with power kind of NES book.
Yep. I love that phrase.
Book.
Now you're playing with power.
It's a book.
Yeah, it's a book.
Like, do you put NES games in there, or is it just a book?
It's got pictures though.
What?
So Nintendo's giving 17 of its NES classics a scholarly exploration by way of an official hardcover retrospective. The Prima Games book, titled Playing with Power, is available November 18th and explores classics such as The Legend of Zelda, Super Mario Bros. 3, and Donkey Kong. Other games in the book aren't listed in the official product description, but you could probably figure them out by crossing third-party games off the list of titles on the NES Classic Edition and starting from there. They might actually include some third parties. Given how they're kind of looking at it, I could almost see like Mega Man being on here. I could see stuff for Castlevania, Contra. what it looks like, this is kind of exploring the development of each of the games, like little bits of artwork, stories behind them. There was actually recently a Kickstarter of a kind of a similar book that was doing a visual history of the NES. They were told to take down the whole thing by Nintendo. I guess they reached a deal, which kind of makes sense. Nintendo was working on this, so they're like, that's way too similar. But I guess they found a difference on it, and the last day of their crowdfunding campaign, they were allowed to come back up there, and they managed to make it. And I ordered one as well. It cost me $60 for the hardback, like really nice version of it. So I'll get that in February. But yeah, I'll be buying this probably as well. I mean, even in my book bag now, I've got one that's all about just the translation differences between the Japanese and the American Legend of Zelda series. That talks about how they brought it over to America, the differences between the two versions, between the whole series. Mostly about the original NES, but it covers some of the Super Nintendo and stuff. So I'm always a sucker for these kind of books, so I will be all over this. All right. Finally, the nerd vocab.
Wow. Took a while to get here.
A lot of movies, a lot of Nintendo. Inevitably. So the nerd vocab for this week is vibranium. It's a fictional metal appearing in American comic books published by Marvel Comics. It is most commonly known as one of the materials used to construct Captain America's shield, but is also noted for its connection to the Black Panther and his native homeland of Wakanda. So there's also another version of vibranium that is found in the Savage Lands down in the South Pole.
Huh.
They kind of negate each other.
Interesting. So are they like different colors, or are they just
different properties of the metal? The main one everyone knows about is the Wakandan one. The issue with the other one is it's tied in a lot with X-Men, so they don't know if they can use that. So it kind of goes back and forth.
You can't really hurt anything with vibranium unless you have vibranium, but then the other one kind of negates it. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, the other kind had an effect of the way it would affect metal. Like they would use it against Colossus. It would force his skin back to normal, so you could stab him with it and things like that. So it led to problems. Bonus.
It led to problems. Okay.
Ow, you stabbed me.
Now we get to talk about the video game that I wanted to talk about.
And here it is. It's
not just one, but it's two. So, okay.
And only one announced for an X. I just find it weird. All right, anyways,
I don't know. So, last week, about Friday, I want to say, day after our show that we record, which I was like, really? Project Sonic was revealed along with Sonic Mania at the Sega Sonic anniversary
25th
party.
anniversary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
25th anniversary party. So I'm going to talk about Sonic Mania first. For all those who are Sonic 2D game purists, praise be to Sega, because they are pretty much releasing a 2D Sonic game.
Praise be to a bunch of indie developers they brought in to do this.
That is also true. A lot of fan people who make the fan games, stuff like that. Like Whitehead, I think was part of his name.
There's a couple of them.
But yeah, Jeremy's going to be looking that up. But basically, this is a 2D Sonic game. It's going to run at 60 FPS. Looks awesome. Like, it looks pretty dope. All the elemental shields are back. They have this new kind of, like, you can keep rolling when you hit the ground kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like you spin, as soon as you hit the ground, you go, which is a drop spin.
Drop spin.
Is what they're calling
This
it.
is drop spin. There's no super peel out, which a lot of people are kind of sad about.
I think that's still in there.
But only when he's running real fast.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of people who have played the demo and have tried to do the super peel out.
Oh, they released a demo of it already?
Yeah. Well, I mean, at the expo.
Oh, okay.
So these are just people's experiences. But basically, he'll leave an after image when he goes real fast, and he'll do his little figure 8 running animation, which is pretty cool. It actually looks really, really fun. And then there's a new zone, which is
there's gonna be a couple new ones. They've shown, but they said there's been a bunch of new ones. So it's being developed by Christian Whitehead. Headcanon and Pagoda West Games are the three indie groups that are working on this whole project. This is the weird one because it's not coming to anything Nintendo. That's kind of weird. It's not coming to Wii U. It's not coming to NX. At least hasn't been announced for it yet. But it's all 2D. So it's not like it can't run it. I mean, They did Generations on 3DS. They could do with that on new 3DS. I mean, so I don't know. It's a really good game coming out. It's for Xbox One, PS4, and PC only so far. And then the other one.
Then there's Project Sonic, which is for people like me who really actually enjoy the 3D, kind of like Sonic Generations, Sonic Unleashed kind of gameplay. Mm-hmm. Not the Werehog part, although the Werehog part's still pretty fun, in my opinion. I'm just saying, all the haters out there. Look, it's a good beat 'em up, all right. But then there's the day stages, which are like, yeah, so fast, it's amazing. Basically, that's what Project Sonic is looking out to be. And from the trailer, which kind of shows like this post-apocalyptic buildings on fire.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
It doesn't make any sense, but there's two giant Eggman robots, and then all of a sudden there's Sonic, and he's like, "Rrr." But then there's young Sonic who pops in, and he's like, "Ha!" And they both speed off towards the robots.
Well, they specifically go to the way and say when the trailer shows from the team that brought you, and it shows Sonic Colors and Sonic Generations.
Which is the team that, because Sonic Colors was amazing.
Yeah, Sonic Colors was really good. Generations, I absolutely loved. I had it on Xbox 360. I got it on the 3DS and played the living crap out of it. But they've made it very clear this is not Generations 2. They're not going back and revisiting old worlds and stuff like that, not in the same sense. It may have a lot of the mechanics from Generations, but it's a new story that somehow combines them. But I don't care if you don't call it. If it's going to play like Generations, then you've already got me. So
story is not really a big thing in the Sonic universe, because technically it all kind of it's the same Sonic, right? It's not like Legend of Zelda where there's like different links.
Right.
It's not different Sonics.
Well, there's some different Sonics. I mean, the 06 one, they just stopped existing. But he ran off with his girlfriend.
We don't talk about that.
Even Sega makes fun of that. Just
going, yeah, that was a thing.
Yeah.
But
and people freaking out because they referred to this as Sonic 2016. They're like, whoa, too close. That's literally one number difference between
this is Sonic 17
and 16. They're like,
no.
Yeah, Sonic 17, whatever.
But Project Sonic or Sonic 2017 is basically coming out for NX, Xbox One, PC, and PS4, which is pretty good deal. I'm probably going to get on the PC, maybe not on the NX, because my computer just recently got upgraded anyway. So
yeah, but what if it's portable? Yeah. How portable is your computer? Not that portable. I don't know. It could be interesting. That brings the total list. There's actually 3 games that have been officially announced for NX. We forgot about Just Dance 2017. Which makes you wonder, how's a Just Dance on that going to work? Like, do you hold the screen and just dance with it? You can see the portable of people just walking around just kind of like, what are you doing? Nothing.
Cardio.
Yeah, I went and looked up a list of games that have been officially confirmed, and of course, there's the 3 that we talked about, and then they have a whole list of ones that I haven't even heard of them, so there's no way those are going to be coming out. They're just mentioning them. But
this is kind of interesting. Sega's kind of appealing to both audiences of Sonic games. Like, okay, we know about the hardcore 2D Sonic fans that don't want anything to deal with, 3D stuff. So here's that, and also the 3D Sonic fan, Sonic stuff, which a lot of people like. I'm pretty sure I'm probably going to get both because 2D Sonic's still kind of fun.
Oh yeah, I'm going to get both of these. I mean, Sonic Mania, I would like to have it. I wish it was on the Wii U because I do like playing a lot of those games on the gamepad. I actually will go back and play some of the older ones on there because you can still play them on the Virtual Console for the Wii, and I'll use the controller and play it, but I would like to have it where I could just play it on that. The 3DS one I still mess around with. The NX, I am definitely getting the Sonic one on that. I'm pretty much, if it's announced for NX, I'm going to get it for it. The only exception being Zelda, which I'll get both.
Yeah, I figured you would. I
always did. Like, even the GameCube version of Twilight Princess, I've got the GameCube, the Wii, and the Wii U version of it. I've played that game a lot. It's good.
Oh, speaking of which, shameless plug. Have you watched my Twilight Princess playthrough? Started that?
Not yet.
Just
it's been a rough
why don't you give me an opinion? Kyle said it was all right. So
Kyle says things.
Yeah. All right, Jeremy, what's going on with the PS4? I'm kind of confused about.
Well, I know if I turn mine on eventually, it's going to have all kinds of crazy updates. But
you're just going to sit there for 5 minutes.
I'm just going to turn it on and walk away. So beta sign-ups have opened for the next PS4 update. Beta testers will get an advanced look at some of the improvements and features coming to PlayStation 4, according to a post on the PlayStation blog. Registration will be open from today until the beta begins in early August. It'll close once the beta starts, so those interested will want to sign up early.
I'm confused. Why are they signing people up for...
Microsoft, for years, like I was involved in this, they started it, at least when I was aware of it, back on the 360, you had the early access group, where like my Xbox One actually has a updated version of the dashboard that other people don't normally have. I've gotten that for a couple different things where we test it out, we go in and report bugs or issues or interface problems, things like that. This is basically their version of doing it, which is fine. I mean, it does help to get it out there and kind of test it out a little bit more. It even got me, Halo Reach. They even sent me a disc where I got the game for free, where it was a new compression system, the way they were running it, and they wanted us to play through it and make sure the system would read it correctly. And it did, so they were able to change how they made the games and get them to read a lot better on the 360, so stuff like that could happen eventually. That's basically what it is. It's just an early program to get people to test out their new software, or new firmware. All right.
I didn't know that was a thing.
It's been a thing for a while. Because even Steam's got a beta thing where you can opt into them. Yeah.
The more you know. Didn't know that. So, moving on to technology news now, the last part of the show. Snowden puts his mind to designing spy-proof smartphone cases.
Yes, Edward Snowden is the NSA whistleblower. Noted hacker Andrew Bunny Huang on Thursday published a paper on their collaboration to design a smartphone case that will protect user privacy. Now, I saw the interview with him recently that was quite interesting, where while he was talking to the interview, was taking the guy's phone apart and showing what to do to disable it. Like he removed the microphone from the phone, disabled the cameras, took them out, remove the GPS module, all these things. And he's like, well, that way people can't remotely turn on your cameras because there's no cameras. They can't turn on your microphone because there's no microphone. And when he asked, like, well, how do you talk? And a lot of them just get the earbuds. They just plug it in because that way it's on when you need it, unplug it, and it's off. So, fun fact for people that want to go dark. The pair developed a prototype compatible with the 4.7-inch iPhone 6, as it's driven primarily by what we understand to be the current preferences and tastes of reporters. The paper states, we assume any platform can and will be compromised by state-level adversaries. So this case probably functions in a way like when you have it on there or have it enclosed, it's going to stop RF cloning. It's going to help prevent the cameras from being accessed remotely, cut out access to whatever you don't want it to have access to, kind of blocking those signals for input and output. So it might be able to do more of the modifications without having to actually take the phone apart and do them. I don't know how that would actually stop the microphone from working unless there's a way to block it or shield it, but we have to see on that one. But it could be interesting. A lot of the stuff with Snowden, a lot of people go back and forth on that. It's kind of not an easy debate for some people. Some are very clearly cut that he should go to jail. Others think, well, he unveiled stuff, but he unveiled what they were breaking the law. That's what a whistleblower is for.
Yeah.
So it kind of goes back and forth on that. All right, so last news we have here. Teal pushes drone speed limits. Teal on Wednesday introduced what it billed as the world's fastest production drone. Drone can fly at 70 miles per hour in all weather conditions and has reached a top speed of 85 miles per hour in favorable conditions.
Almost 88.
Yeah. It can withstand 40-mile-an-hour winds, is built to run apps, and can be controlled using a smartphone, tablet, or hobby controller. And it comes with a 1-year warranty.
Wow.
Which at the speeds you're moving at, you're going to use.
But wait, there's more.
Yeah. You imagine being hit by that drone doing 85?
You're
dead.
You're dead.
You're dead.
You're done.
Because, yeah. They must have a really good camera because that's a heck of a refresh rate.
That is, yeah. That you would have. I didn't think.
Remember, kids, it's too fast for Pokemon Go. Don't put your phone on it.
Oh man. Alrighty, that is going to be it here for today's show.
Mm-hmm.
Shameless plug time. You can find us on Facebook at Nerd Edification Hour. You can also just type that into YouTube and look us up that way, or try to look for Strangely Entertaining, capital S, capital E, one word if you can. Let's see. Same thing, I'm on Twitch, Strangely Entertaining. Probably won't be doing that tomorrow. Usually that happens on Fridays. Tomorrow's going to be a busy day, so might not do that, or pretty much just do it whenever I can. Pretty much. I forget. Oh, the Twitter is at Nerd Edification. So just look me up on Twitter. That's where you can see all the lovely shows and stuff get posted and things like that.
All right, and you can find me at Zenspath, ZENSPATH on Twitter, at Zenspath COM on YouTube, twitch.tv/Zenspath for Twitch, and on iTunes you can look up the Zenspath podcast. We're trying to do a little bit more on there, and we're going to start trying to do the Google Hangout, so we'll actually record it as we do it and kind of put it up that way, so it'll be up on YouTube more than probably iTunes. Unless I extract an audio version. We'll see. So, all right.
Alrighty then, that'll be it here for today. Until next time, stay fancy.
Peace.